we are this close to having this new barn ready, and I cannot wait. Well, we are definitely in the home stretch of all these girls moving in next door, like hours away. The catch is we have to change a few things up, including adding a little bit of pellet for everybody. The same thing they're going to actually get in the robot. And they do seem to like it. So this is robot pellet, we'll call it, Perion robot pellet. Basically, it's what, when they go get milked, this is the feed that will drop out and they will munch on while they get milked. What we're doing here, based on recommendation from both Perion as well as Avonbank, is let's get them used to what it tastes like. Let's get them basically used to eating it. So we've been adding it, putting it on top of their usual feed, and, well, you'll see in a second. They don't mind it. Tell who didn't get it yet.
Okay. I'm coming.
Well, I gotta be honest with you. That was from 3 weeks ago. Because it has been a very wild 3 weeks. We were in the barn. That was our last day in the barn, feeding that pellet. And then, as you might remember from the last video, we were stepping milking back so that we could be done the last milking at that, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And then we proceeded to move everybody into the barn with mild success. But the good news is we did, after, an hour and a half or so, get everybody slowly and gradually into the barn. They then proceeded to bawl and run around and not eat a whole lot and just, work themselves into a bit of a frenzy for that first night. But, we went to bed and then started milking with the help of Ashley and Brooke and Remco and lots of help that we had. We then proceeded to get the first milking done and the first push done. And I'm not gonna lie, that first push was a disaster. Well, at least it felt like a disaster. It took a long time. Cows took a long time to go through, but it was interesting that once they stopped beating on the milker, and it actually attached, and whichever ones did decide to let their milk down, when they let their milk down, they tended to calm down a little. But it was a long run, and then we immediately pushed again and got everybody through again, and very shortly after got everybody through again. So we did 3 pushes that first day, and then we proceeded to do push after push after push, 3 pushes every day for that first week, which was a lot of work. We were really lucky to have a lot of good help come through, but the thing that was actually really amazing about it was the fact that, like, we saw a noticeable difference day after day. And by the time we actually hit the end of that first week, we actually pulled a couple of gates out. We continued to push everybody, but, there was less to go around and less kind of cycling everybody through. And then after a little while, we actually quit pushing everybody. So by week 2, we actually switched to fetching, and the fetch became every 4 times a day. So every 6 hours, we fetched anybody who hadn't been to the robot within the last 10 hours. That was the cycle. So we kind of constantly and repeatedly had cows go through, but then the opportunity, and we found this really quickly, was after we quit doing that push, which was wearing the cows out, was wearing us out, it gave more of an opportunity for everybody to kind of find the robot, and then doing that where it was only going by who hadn't been there for more than 10 hours meant that sometimes it might be 12, 14, or 15 hours even that a cow wasn't going, and they started to find the robot. So then after that second week, we actually switched to where we are now. Cows over 12 hours is the report I go to. And this is our third push today, our third fetch today. We now do it 3 times a day, 5 a.m., just before 1 in the afternoon, and then it's about 9:30, so nighttime. And I have 1 cow. I have 1 cow on the list, and it is Hershey. She just hit the 12-hour mark. And to be honest, she is a very late lactation cow, 300 days in milk, supposed to be dried off in less than a month, only giving about 20 liters a day. And this is the cool thing about all of this, is when you start to pay attention to all of the data, like, she tried to go through on her own, didn't pass. That 9:15 when she was successful, like, that was her on her own. Nobody did that at 9:15. Nobody was here at 12:45 a.m. Nobody would have pushed her at 5. Might have pushed her there yesterday morning. But, like, honestly, I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I don't think I will push her, because she's just that 12 hours apart, isn't holding on to a whole lot of milk, may very well find the robot herself. And that after 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, a very long, very tiring, very big 3 weeks. And we are already to this point. I definitely didn't think going into this we'd be this quick at kind of finding a rhythm. After the first day, as you saw, really didn't think. I thought it would be a long couple of months after that first couple of milkings, but here we are getting comfortable with the robots already. So now, instead of fetching, we're just gonna do night check tonight. Now, I should say, as we go out, 526, Gloria. She is the first one that we have shipped that basically didn't adjust. And that is, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, whether we did anything, could have done anything differently, I don't know. Her feet and legs weren't really adjusting to it. She was an older cow anyway, one of the oldest in the barn. And she just didn't take to it. We've had her on the pack here for the last couple of weeks. She just wasn't necessarily getting better. So she was kind of that first decision we made to say, you know what, you're not going to be a robot cow. What we are finding though is that there are a lot of other cows that now that they have the ability to move around, that they have that flexibility to go whenever they want, are very much robot cows. So I think it just comes with a territory that sometimes you're going to win with cows, and other times, oh no, we got water. This is why you do a night check. I can almost promise you that it is the water bowl down there, because it has only overflowed 22 times now. 22! Tried a new float. That didn't work. Look at that. I have fixed it. I have cleaned it out. I have pulled it apart. I have done a lot of things with this stupid float. So, this is why you check it at night, I guess. Okay, let's get this fixed. Yes, you're not as helpful as you think. Now, I will say that it is easy getting at this. And the nice thing about these, I really do like these tip troughs. And then when it's dirty, all you do is dump like that. Sorry, I gotta set you down for a second. Don't fall. Okay, so that is a slightly different fix there. See, shut right off. That's what it's supposed to do. That twist of it, I don't know whether somebody's getting their nose underneath that and licking at that ball. I don't know how to solve that. I guess that is a question for tomorrow that we will try to ask. But the fact that it is doing that as regularly as it's doing that is obviously not perfect. So, I don't know whether there's a different float to get. It can't keep happening, and especially, like, the big trouble we have is... What? What do we do with that? There it is. The big trouble we have is that I'm glad I found it now. It could have just as easily happened 10 minutes from now, after we walk through here and then run all night long. As it is, it looks like it's run a while. So, beautiful thing about the Maximus. We are going to Alley Scrapers, East Alley Scrapers. Clean now. It would go at in 30 minutes from now, but we are going to get it running now. There. Cleaning itself up. That is pretty easy work. The thing that we kind of can worry about now is maybe getting a few cows cleaned up, making sure they're in their usual rhythm. It's been hot the last few days, so making sure they stay cool, but the fans are doing a great job doing that. They're all automatic. They just, well, when it's this hot, they just run all the time anyway, but that's all they do. 3 weeks in, I never thought we would be feeling as good about where we are, but this barn is awesome.